Hello, this is Priscilla Batzel. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio. These are my pans for color with something to put over the top so I can keep it from drying out. And that's going to be my second pan. These are my scoops. This is a dollar store bucket shovel and something I made with folded up sides just from a piece of plastic, and something that was packaging that I carved down on the sides and cut the end off. And hopefully that'll make 3 different width stripes, and I want to do the easiest thing possible, I hope. Remove that chunk. Put my cover at the back. Use some mother of pearl because I need a white base coat. I want some white in my painting, in my stripes. So now, now I get to use colors. And I'm going to start with the one that'll be the hardest to get out, which is golden maple. Let's just give it some golden maple for real, which will dry much more sparkly than it looks right here. I'm trying to go for chunks of color, but I'm not sure what's going to happen, and I just poured that right onto my finger. Darn. That's what I get for opening the top. So I'm messy. It happens. I'll just wipe my hands off. So I'm going to go for my favorite colors first, and that is some Royal Sapphire. Which I really love with the Fandango. Both of those are Prizm pours. The golden maple was a Primary Element Bling It. I've got sparkling Aqua, which I hope doesn't need a shake. It's a great color. It reminds me of the Pebbio Iridescent Blue Green, which I have some of, but I'm not sure exactly I can lay my hands on it. Then I'm going to move on to iridescent. No, it's not. It's red violet vivid intense fluorescent. I would say this is the fun part, but it's the part that takes the longest. It really is. Then I'm going to go for some Miami Magenta, which is a Prizm pour. I'm trying to be fugly is what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be so random that it makes the stripes more interesting and less predictable. I want some, I've got Cupid's Crush. I was going to use Rhapsody Rose, but I'm low on it. And I want to make sure it's on white, because when I pour anything on black that's red, unless it's on white, it's going to darken so much. Cupid's Crush is a primary element. I've got a new Prizm pour called Parrot Wing. I'm looking forward to trying some of that. That Cupid's Crush is reminding me, strangely enough, of poinsettia. I'm going to keep going with the selected colors I have out. Except for the cerulean blue seems to be plugged, and if I have a set of tweezers, I'm going to try and unplug it really quickly. But it's not looking good. So maybe we'll just go for another blue. I've got Frozen. I've also got Midnight Shadow. I'm going to use some Midnight Shadow, even though it's dark. And like I said, I've got Frozen, and that's what I'll use instead of cerulean blue. I'd like the cerulean blue, I really would. But the Frozen is a pretty good substitute. It's definitely a close second, if not equal in desirability. So now I want to keep my colors kind of light because I'm planning on leaving black stripes in between. This is Periwinkle, which is a vivid, intense fluorescent also. I am still dying to open that cerulean blue. I try not to cover over the color each other. Cover over, you get what I'm saying. I'm trying not to cover anything that I might want to see. That is Frostbite. That might be more of a base than anything. I've never used, or I haven't used silver in stripe paintings very often. And I want to try some true silver, which is a Prizm pour. Because I like silver and gold together. And I'm getting ready for the saffron, which is usually something that makes everything, punches it all up, brings it to life. I'm hoping that's not my head in the camera, but it could be. I'm sorry about that. So that's beautiful. And I'm not done yet either. I've got sour lemon with orange crush. And I'm liking my pan of colors. Let's just stop now, take a picture. I still seem to have quite a bit of white left, which is a good thing. I'm really tempted, and I think I'm going to give in to my desire to use a little bit of Watrelily, which is a new Prizm pour. It's an ultra metallic. And then I have to decide whether I'm going to put some more yellow in there. And I've got shiny taffeta that's plugged, so I think I'm going to grab the Isadora and put these two bottles next to each other because they need to be cleaned out. I'll try the Isadora. I like Isadora. It's more subtle than Tuscan Sun, which is still calling me, by the way. And I've got some. And I might try that too, just because I have it and it's here. Alright, I think that's probably more than enough, and you don't need any more than 3 colors in black and white to make an interesting painting, so forgive me for indulging myself in my extensive collection of Colour Arte colors. I am a Colour Arte affiliate, by the way. That would probably be the best reason for having all these colors. I still want that cerulean blue, and I hit it on myself. Wait, there it is. I still want the cerulean blue, and I'm going to take a second to do something about it. And my second dish, whoa, that's super plugged. Super plugged, but I pushed my tweezers in that you can find on my Amazon link, and when you twist them around, you come out with an entire cone full of paint, and then it's perfectly clean. So that's actually not a bad thing, and it's going to give me some cerulean blue, which I'm really going to like. Still being tempted by more colors, but maybe that means I should do the second pan. And I'll start with the first one, so I don't have it in the way. I'll just get it out of here. And hopefully I'll be able to see that. And I'm really looking down at it, and I'm thinking more saffron, but what I've got in my hand is orange crush, so that's what I'm giving myself. Hopefully you can see that. That's a really pretty pan of colors. Here, you want one more look? Check that out. That's really cool. Where I'm going to start, I don't know. And at any given moment, I'm inclined to just go back in with another color in a place that I think it might require some. And that's the red violet again. And wish me luck. Going off. Here goes nothing. I'm going to try and move a couple bottles out of the way so it's the 12 by 24 over to the side. It's a process. It's always a process. It's usually, it takes longer to mix paint than it does to make paintings, but Now I have some room to move. And I'm going to start, I want to start on this side, but I don't want to drag the colors around. I'm going to try and scrape my bottom off. I'm going down on the end. Hopefully I'm still within your view. Kind of wonder. And seeming as it's the first one, I'm going to tip it so it flows off that side. And continue on my way. I think I'm probably going to put a curve in things. And I might like to start short. I might like to go from side to side also. I thought I would just embrace whatever mark came out, like if the shovel happens to skip. I sometimes like those gaps. So far so good. I think I'm just going to have to put up with not being able to go to the edge. I'm going to try and find my tweezers again that I have incidentally moved. There, I got a spare pair. Ah, this is why I have a spare pair. I don't know what that was, but it had to go away. And those two bubbles can go away. And are those bubbles, or are those, yes, those were bubbles. These are interesting colors here. So do I keep going with the shovel, or do I put the shovel down, use the contents in the next scoop, and try a smaller size stripe? You need a certain amount of paint. Like I just used the leftover paint. So that's the last thing out because it was the first thing in. So that's a working trick for getting your stripes to go the distance. And I'm going to use the paint that's left in that container to lead it down over the edge. Somewhat, anyway. I think I'm going to go for another stripe with the same tool. It's not convenient to have as little room as I've got, but it is what it is, so we're going to almost lost a whole bunch of paint. I really don't want to do that. Take your time. I'm wondering if I should use the small scoop. I'm slowing down because I want the end of that red line to stop at the edge of the canvas. Also, it's a matte black canvas that came pre-primed. And what's going to happen is that I'm going to grab a Princeton Art Catalyst spatula. What's going to happen is that I'm going to plan on varnishing, probably with the Jo Sonja gloss varnish, because I really like the effect it gives. I have some Minwax and it's not bad either. Scrape that off again. I guess at a certain point in time, if I decide to add more colors, I'll just do that to my pan. But in the meantime, I'm just going to swivel it around so I can get what I want. And I'm going to not worry about scooping up what I consider to be less than attractive colors, because they're going to be at the back of the scoop, if I can ever get it to come up. I don't think it really even matters if you have consistently the same size line gap in between the stripes. This is just something you want to do as slowly as you can, so you get somewhat equal dispersal in your layer of paint. I thought about adding black or white in between, and I might do that at some point in the future, but I think in order to do that I kind of need to put a base coat on first. I think I'm going to grab a little bit of that, turn my scoop over and see if I can I'm just blowing the stripe that's there already into the paint that I used on the edge. Let me see if these are bubbles again. I see a couple. Tweezers are great to have handy for a lot of reasons, and bubbles is definitely one of them. It's much easier than skimming up the paint. Wow, that was really fast, 18 minutes. Alright, I don't know how long I'm going to be, so I'm just going to come back again in a second. Let's take a picture anyway. Alright, I'm pretty sure I can get the rest of these stripes done in time, but something about taking my time has taken my time. It takes a while to get the colors chosen and into the pan too. Not every edge is going to be perfect, that's for sure. I don't know what that is, but it's bugging me. I don't think it's strictly a bubble. It might be a bubble and a thing. You certainly can torch this. I'm going to go back to my large shovel, and I'm just going to rest the small one. Actually, what I'm going to do is use my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula, scrape out the contents of the little scoop so I don't waste it, because it's going to be at the back anyway. Last out probably means not out at all. I wish I had an instant fast forward for you. Oh, I just messed up. Well, maybe we'll get lucky and I won't have to worry about those if they're on stripes. This is definitely just straight up contemporary art, which I'm going to let contents of my shovel just flow right off and then attempt to blend them in together. I just thought maybe you could put cell activator right up the middle. I'm going to take that off of there. I hope it's not going to be a problem. But I have a piece of paper towel and clean water. And actually, to be honest with you, I prefer sponge, but I don't want it to be too wet right now. I think that's not going to be a problem, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to try and go from this side. And I want a little more red. I'm dribbling though. Wish there was a way to get that to go to the edge easily, consistently, but it just doesn't seem like I figured it out. I guess I just have to be willing to waste some. Oh, that's a pretty stripe. I should have just fast forwarded through the whole thing. I suppose I could do that too. Loving, loving, loving that frozen in there with the orange and the purple. I'm still gonna, I think what I'm gonna do is grab this Princeton Art Tool Kettle spatula. Before it gets any further afield, herd my paint. I've got just a little tiny gap in between there, and I'm going to fill it in right now. So there's just one more, and maybe it should be a small one. It could be a large one, but I think it should be a small one. So that's what I'm going to do. Take my smaller. I never did use the tiniest one. And I could still, you could still at any given point in time, you could definitely still fill this in with black in between. I'm trying to be tricky and use the pretty colors from the last stripe and add them to the smaller scoop, which might be asking for trouble, to be honest with you. But I think I got it. Not being able to see everything I'm doing is kind of difficult. So don't feel like you're alone. Okay, so here goes the last one. This is the one, if it looks a little different, it's because I scraped off into the second scoop. I thought it was going to be easier and quicker, to tell you the truth. And if I was willing to put up with the gaps that I usually get when I do shovel pours with random patterns, it probably could have been a lot quicker. So I'm going to steal some of the paint that I see that's a similar color. Let it go right down over the edge, because my paint actually was not an inappropriate amount. And now if I've got any edges, let that drain right into the shovel, hopefully. Let's see what I've got missing. I've got a little bit of it doesn't match, but at least it makes the edge cohesive, I guess. And the colors are pure for the most part. I could actually match them and cover that over if I was concerned, but I kind of like the idea of a rogue edge. to tell you the truth. Especially since I usually, whoop, took my spatula right in. Paint actually does seem heavy enough. Let's see if the other side is covered too. I think we got most of this one. I don't even know if it 100% needs to match. I'm just inclined to be that way. Yeah, I've got most of my edges covered. Okay, so I should probably shimmer that at you, but I should probably also let go. Torch. Because I know there's a few bubbles I missed. There they go. So you don't have to be an artist so long as you can pick pretty colors and you have a steady enough hand to do this. And it's just kind of basic, and I want to put a gold stripe down in between, but it's inappropriate to do that right now, so I'm going to just shimmer this at you. Tell you guys I love you. Get ready to scoop all my paint into one container and pour it on something else. Let's travel up and see how I like it. It's stripy. What did I expect? Alright, I love you guys. I have 31 playlists with 100 videos each on them, and everything is also organized by topic and genre. And this is going to dry really beautifully, and then I'm going to still have to gloss varnish it. I'm not going to do that on camera. It'll definitely take 24 hours for this. In our house there's always air conditioning because we're in Florida, so I think things dry a lot faster. And I'm going to fix that one spot which is bugging me. Actually, I'm going to fix that one spot right now if I can get it to come out of the bottle. And fixed. Alright, I love you guys. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves. My lines are almost level. I think I'm a little unlevel, but you could probably put a chalk mark guideline down. I got a cat here. Darn it, I'm going to have to remove that after you're gone. Third stripe in on the right. Alright. What I haven't told you is please give me a thumbs up when you share my videos. You help me out. Your comments keep my channel happy and the algorithm. My paint pouring recipe is below. Show more. If you have questions, I encourage questions. My community board will show you tomorrow's video. Right now it's still at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My Amazon link is on my link tree. The link tree shows everything. It's in the description. It has my 2 books on the Amazon link, Because I Can and Unlimited Possibilities, and you can have everything reproduced on any of the merchandise at Spring or Legalist, Society 6, Pixels.com or Fine Art America, or anything else you might happen to find on my link tree. There's a couple of websites there. Not that they're great, but they're not bad. There's some stuff there to look at and buy if you want. I think I told you just about everything, so other than the fact that I love you and I'll see you anon, I'm going to do another kind of stripe and wave them next time, and I think I'm going to go faster and see what happens, because this was long. Alright, I love you guys. Priscilla out. I'll see you anon. Maybe tomorrow. This is the next day, and this is dry, and this would be like the first time, I think, that I've come back with a dry piece, except for exhibition videos. But I wanted to show you how amazingly shiny that is. And that's from using, I believe, the Vivid Polypore from Colourarte, and also the Just So New Gloss Varnish I add to the mix. And while I'm here, this is 9497, but I did another painting right after this that is 9498, and this is amazing too. And I wanted to quick like a bunny try and show you how incredibly glossy and shimmery that is, and there are no cracks, and the paint was plenty heavy. That's because I used the golden product GAC 800. And then I'm going to call it good. Oh, what I wanted to do real quick, turn off, was take some water, because I can't, it needs to sit for a couple days. But I can show you how it's going to look when I put the Joe Sonia gloss varnish on by adding water to a little sponge. And I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but I like it a lot. And I like it even better than I thought I was going to like it. I was like, that was a nice contrast between the shine and the other, but this is everybody's good. Plus it'll help hide that one little flaw where the stripe got too wide. I'm not sure I'll have enough water to go the whole way, but you can see what I'm talking about now. And that's exactly what's going to happen when I add Joe Sonia gloss varnish in a few days, or however long it takes me to decide to do that. But that's going to be really, really nice. Alright, I'll see you guys in on. I love you much. Come back soon. Bye for now. Priscilla out.